Hi, welcome to another video on survival mob farms. I'm playing in Minecraft 1.13 right now, but I was asked to do a video or two on food farms. I figure since 1.14 is out, I would do something that is kind of 1.14 proof. So the fancy farms that I have that are based on villagers aren't going to work in 1.14. So I've just decided to start with a cow farm, and then I have to have something to feed the cows. So I did a wheat farm to go along with it, and both of them are designed so that you could do them in early game, and they're designed to be cheap and easy to build. So let's start with the cow farm. First of all, here's what I got in my first harvest for the cow farm. So I got, sorry for the cursor there, I got almost 3 stacks of steak out of it and a couple of stacks of cowhide. So that was just in one harvest. So the way this works is I've got this set up down here. This is where I drop the little cows into here, and I let them hang out until they're grown-ups. And then when I need food or cowhide, I come down here and I collect it. So this is a collection and killing chamber right here. And the way I get them down here is I breed them. So this is the breeding herd. So I've got a million cows in here so that I can breed and make the baby cows. So let me show you how it works. First of all, let me go get some more wheat because I've got a lot of cows now. And we'll look at this wheat farm in a second. I created the wheat farm to give me the wheat that I need to feed these guys. So first of all, let's open some trapdoors here. So these are where the baby cows are going to fall through. I'm going to open these up. So you close these when you want to build up the breeding herd, because you don't want anything falling through here. And then when you're ready to harvest, you open them. Excuse me. So then you come up here with some wheat in your hand. And I just made this platform so that I don't get mobbed by the cows. There are a lot of cows in here. And you just go through and feed them. And maybe I'll just feed a few. And I did set it up so I can jump in here and finish feeding, because I can't always get them all from this platform. So we feed them, and then if I wanted to jump in there, I've got a piece of wool on the fence. I can just jump in here and run around and feed this way. Little bit of oversight there. I built this thing too low. I don't think I can get underneath it, so I would have to put a piece of wool on the other side. So after I feed them, they have the babies, and then the babies, you can see where one baby has wandered in here, but to get them to come in there faster, I just go around the outside here with some wheat, and they should start to filter through here in a minute and drop. And you just kind of like walk around the outside here until you get them to fall through the trap doors. And I've got a lot of cows in here, so maybe there are still some trying to squeeze through. But this is basically how it goes. And if it's too tight, then just get rid of some of the breeding herd, just so that you make room. But I think they all fell through. And I didn't feed the whole herd really. But you can see that just on that one feeding, we got what, 8, maybe 12 cows, 12, 13, 14 cows. So that's basically it. Now I built the farm so that it's close enough to my village and to the other things that I'm doing that I'll keep this chunk loaded so that they can grow. And I can, after a few feedings, I'll have a lot of cows in there. I can also, when these guys grow up, I can jump down in here and I can run around and feed them down here to make them grow up, make the herd bigger from down there too. So I I can grow the herd in a couple of different ways. So once they grow up, then I can come down here with a looting sword. This is a looting 3 sword. And like I said, my first harvest down here, I got 3 stacks of steak and 2 stacks of cowhide. So that's how that works. So to build it, pretty simple. You can make this really any size you want up here, depending on how big you want your breeding herd. So you just put a fence in, then you got to dig out underneath, and underneath I dug down 3. I could go down more, but 3 was enough. That I wanted to put this up 1 block up so that they can't jump out as easily when I try to go inside. So you dig down 2 or 3, and then you dig out room for your trapdoors, put your trapdoors in, and then when the farm's new, you close these trapdoors, bring some cows in. Oh, this is important. These bars have to be here. So you can see these bars are going to keep the adult cows from falling through the trapdoors. So you put iron bars or fence here at head level, like 1 block up, so that the only thing that can get through that gap are baby cows. Then you bring a few cows in here and you start feeding, and it doesn't take long to build up the herd. See, this little guy got out pretty easy. I could leave him out, or I can just bring him back in here, have him follow me in, run to the back, and then try and, he's quick. Okay, I'll get him back later. You have to wrangle them a little bit. It's no big deal. So, you know, once they've grown up, then I can go in and harvest. So let's see. Kind of lost my place a little bit messing with that little cow. So then I built this furnace near the cow farm, so I can just come over here and I can put the meat, the beef, in the top chest here. This is just your typical, you know, furnace array, and I only need 1 furnace. And then I've got some blaze rod here that I'm going to use for fuel. And we should be dropping that stuff into there, and should have some blaze rod coming through the hopper at some point. So my hopper's probably clogged. I tried to put some dirt in there to make it more efficient. Let's see what's happening here. This will give you a look at the back. Sorry, thought I tested this, but something's clogging the fuel system. Let's see what's going on. So I've got blaze rod there. I've got this in the way. So I just pull that out of the way. I think we're good to go. I'll leave that open for now. I'll patch it up later. So now we get blaze rod into the bottom of the furnace and the food into the top, and that's just going to cook while we go about our business. So to feed these guys, I made this farm, and this is just a flush farm. And let me just plant it up while we're talking about how it's built. Grab some seeds. So this is a very common farm, and the reason I went with this type of farm, and the reason I didn't go with something fancier for the cow farm, was just, for one, I wanted to make something that you can do early in the game. These can be upgraded later to, you know, much fancier setups, but you know, as far as a cow farm goes, you're going to get really great output out of this farm. There are fancier farms, and there are smaller farms if you're like trying to do your farming in a cave or something, but you're not going to get the kind of production out of those macro farms, those nano farms, that you're going to get out of this. So I like this design. If you want a lot of beef and a lot of cowhide, go with this design. I can do a nano farm if you guys want to see one. And then for this farm here, you may or may not have seen one of these, but you basically just build up these plateaus here with your dirt, and we're going to plant. And when everything grows up, we're going to run some water down across this. We're going to knock everything down into a water stream here, and then that water stream is going to feed down into a hopper that's going to feed down into the chest that you just saw. I had to put these planks right here. Well, I didn't have to put them here, but I put them here because I believe that, you know, because the water's dropping down off of here, it's going to knock out any plants that are there anyway. So rather than have dirt, I just figured I'd make myself a little platform right there. So plant this up, and then when you're ready to harvest, and I probably should have let this thing grow for you. Let's do this. When you're ready to harvest, you pull that lever back there. I've got redstone running up the side, around the back and over the top, and across the top of these pistons. So you can see that it's energized right now. That means these pistons are pushed down. They're holding all this water in this tray. So if I go pull the lever, it's going to turn off that redstone signal. I'll just go ahead and pull it so you can see what happens. It's going to turn off this this redstone. That's going to let those pistons retract. That's going to let the water flow down and do my harvesting for me. And then I can just flip the lever because the water's already started. Everything will flow down here into this water stream, and it'll get collected into the hopper. So I like this because it's simple. Pistons are fairly cheap to make. It's not very much iron or redstone. You can easily gather the resources you need for those pistons like the first day. You probably won't be building this the first day, but you could if you wanted to. And this farm can be upgraded. And I can do videos to show you how to upgrade this and make it more productive and make it make it cooler looking. But this farm will do the job, and this farm produces plenty of food to feed those cows, which was all I was interested in. The other thing about this farm is that 114 isn't going to break it. I'm not depending on any farmer villagers to plant things in this farm for me. So it'll work in 114 until the big time YouTube guys like Friliath and I don't know who else is going to work on it come up with an answer to the villager issues that we have with 114. 114 is a great update, but it is going to break any farms that depend on villagers, including these types of farms like wheat, carrot, potato farms, iron farms, and it's going to mess up villager trading halls. Those are going to have to be modified, anything having to do with villagers. So that's one of the reasons I did this way. The other reason I did it this way was so that you would have something that you can build early game. So that's these two. The cow farm is your food, and then you have to have some wheat to feed those cows. So unless you want to be harvesting wheat by hand, build yourself one of these flush farms, and you should be good to go on food. And then if you want to make things more efficient, there are plenty of ways that this farm right here can be made fancier and more efficient. So I hope that is satisfactory for the first food farm. Thanks for watching. Leave me some comments on what you want to see, and drop a like on this video if you like the video, and maybe think about subscribing if you want to see more. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.